Welcome, cynics. What is it time to talk about? The only thing you can talk about, Suicide Squad. Awesome, awesome, awesome movie. No, it's freaking horrible. I don't know who came up with this idea. It's just dumb. It's dumb from the very beginning all the way through. They're, by the way, spoiler heavy, super spoiler heavy. If you haven't watched it yet, I don't know who you are. Turn it off, go away, I don't care. But it's bad. It's just go.
No, I'm just not 100% sure where to begin.
Okay, let's start with the basic idea from the very beginning. You send a whole bunch of non-powered, for the most part. There's two. You've got two metahumans in the whole group, Enchantress and Diablo.
And Killer Croc, technically.
I guess.
Kind of. That's really more of a birth defect put to good use, I guess.
He's barely in the movie anyway.
True.
We'll get to that.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get to that. Okay. All right. So you were telling me before. I mean, the plot of the movie is it's a dumb plot. I'm struggling because it's.
Well, yeah. My issue is that essentially the Suicide Squad creates their own problem. They find Enchantress, and they're like, look, we've got this Enchantress. And I'm not sure exactly where the connection between Suicide Squad and Enchantress begins, because they got Rick Flag running them, but they use June Moon to be his... that was something that they used June Moon to become his lover so that they could control him. How did they know that was going to happen? They have, I guess, some magic crystal. It's almost like they needed Enchantress before they used Enchantress to figure out that they could use Enchantress. It was like this horrible idea. And then on top of that, they're showing her off to the... oh, sorry,
No, keep going.
They're showing her off to the government guys, and they're like, look at this great Enchantress we have, and she gives them secret documents. Like, wow, didn't check to make sure they were real or not. And then they're like, sure, use it. And
wait, how about the political fallout of that one? Because like the Iranian government's gonna just go, oh wow, our secret book disappeared. I'm sure nobody has it, and
we don't
just
need to look for
drop that one. They're gonna figure that out, and they're gonna be pretty mad about it. Especially when they find out that the U.S. used a metahuman...
Magic woman.
a god to disappear their secrets. They're not going to, freak out immediately about that or anything.
They used that event to get the Suicide Squad approved, and then boom! Right... The very first thing that happens after they approve it is show how little control they have of the situation.
And of course the guys in the Pentagon or whatever board that was supposed to be are just like, yeah, sure, that worked, that's great.
Amanda Waller
I didn't notice that you lost control of her at all. Or that the woman who is the host of this horrifically powerful creature is like, I can't do this again.
June Moon says, I can't control her. And Amanda Waller goes, get her out of here.
And nobody, that's not a red flag for anybody. Everybody's like, that's fine. That's acceptable.
I think that seems like a normal part of using a superhuman team. Which, yeah, like you said, not even really...
They're not superhuman.
Okay, so you've got your characters. You've got Deadshot, Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, Diablo, Killer Croc. And should I even include Slipknot?
No. No, he didn't even need to be in the movie.
Slipknot was a joke. And it's an allusion to the comic. That happened in the comic. But they could have, there should have been some kind of stakes. They kill off Slipknot. like instantly. But we don't have any reason to feel like that's a big deal.
No, why are you supposed to care?
Like,
You
we're
don't care.
introduced to these 5 characters, and then, I mean, I'm not kidding you. Seriously, they truck this guy out and say, oh, and here's number 6. And he's like, I'm part of your team. Literally, like, I couldn't believe. It's almost like you could see him just written in.
Like, you know, somebody needs to die to prove that the whole bomb in the head thing is legit. Who does no one care about?
Make it the guy who can.
Slipknot.
Make it the guy who can climb on stuff. I mean, I get it. It was a low stakes thing to do, but there were no. It wasn't low stakes. It was no stakes. We didn't care about him at all. So when he died, we were like, oh, okay. And Adam Beach. It was Adam Beach. He's a great actor. He's a
completely unused. That.
I don't know what that was about. It seemed like a big misfire. They should have got a nobody to place it up that, but whatever.
Well, then it would have been even more obvious. I mean, they didn't give. Okay, let's bring it back a little bit. Let's bring it back a little bit.
Sorry.
When and I know that the characters that are in the Suicide Squad book or movie are the exact same characters as in the comic book. I get that.
But they're not, though.
Well,
They're not the exact same.
no, but it's the same. It's the same makeup. Like the whole thing about them not being metahumans. Okay, in the comic book, these non-metahumans did go out and be the Suicide Squad, but they screwed that all up from the beginning by making Enchantress the bad guy. They have virtually no hope of taking her down. Like it's just a bad idea right off the bat. If you've got Enchantress. Who they refer to? Don't they refer to her as a god even?
More or less, yeah. I mean,
She goes nuts and is like, I'm going to destroy the world now.
and their response is, let's go send a guy who can shoot really well, a crazy girl, a guy who throws boomerangs, a guy with a birth defect, and arguably the only one who's worth a damn, Diablo, the guy who can shoot fire.
Who doesn't want to fight.
Who is a pacifist. And they know that at the time, that this guy has not done anything in, like, years.
It's an awful team to assemble. If it was some different problem, basically not Enchantress, then okay. But you're like, yeah, God went crazy. So probably the crazy chick is the one who can take him down. That's probably our best bet. Okay, so let's backtrack just a little bit. Characters that were actually decent,
Okay.
enjoyable.
Waller. Amanda Waller is done really well by Viola Davis. She gives a great performance. She's very, she's cold. She's calculating. She's manipulative.
She was brutal.
Brutally efficient. Like, she's just... Viola Davis did a perfect job with the role. I know Angela Bassett played her before in the Green Lantern movie. Wasn't really a good fit. Viola Davis better physically and mentally fits the role.
You got the idea that she was together enough that she could actually control the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, she was clearly a player on a higher level than anybody else, and that showed. And that was done really well.
She was good.
Waller was good.
Rick Flag. Didn't expect to like him from watching the previews, but couldn't help it.
They replaced him. It was originally Tom Hardy, which might have been a good fit, but...
No, because he would have done some stupid voice. He can't help it. He's got to do a stupid voice in a movie. You would have had Tom Hardy in there in, like, body armor going, if you're trying to run away, I'll blow up your heads. It would have been awful. It would have been just, no. I want to like Tom Hardy. I have a love-hate thing with Tom Hardy.
He hates his voices.
They're stupid. They're all stupid. I can't understand half of what he says.
Listen, okay, so back on track. Rick Flag was played by, what's his name, Joel McKinnon, or Joel, I can't remember right now. Usually I can remember these names, but I can't remember right now.
He was good.
Yeah. I didn't care as much about the performance, but he definitely wasn't as obnoxious as some of the others. Yeah, it was for me. He was kind of a meh.
How about my favorite character, Diablo?
Diablo was great. In a way, like the pacifist thing at first was kind of like, dude, like there's like demon creatures out there. Like it's a little different. You're not just being violent. Like you're fighting you're fighting non-humans, and it's really
It kind of made sense with his story, though. I mean,
yeah.
he is terrified of losing control again. The last time he lost control, he killed his whole family. So now he's terrified of it. It almost was to me like he was developing kind of a mental block voluntarily. He just, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it made sense within the confines. They wrote him a lot better, and the end. Just another spoiler alert. If you're already, I mean, you've already seen plenty of spoilers.
If they're this far in, forget it.
Diablo gets a big reveal at the end, and you see that he's like this Aztec god of vengeance. That was pretty cool. That final form that he had was pretty dope.
And I felt like he was a understandable character. His story made sense. The way that he acted through it made sense. So, moving on past Diablo, let's talk about Deadshot, who, played by Will Smith, as I predicted, can't play a straight bad guy. He can't do it.
I really was hoping that this would finally be Will Smith's big, like, villainous debut. And we would see, like, I was kind of, from the previews, I knew that we were getting more, I don't know. I was hoping we'd get this really great duality where it's like, he's a family man, but he's also this cold-blooded killer that you can't trust. No.
And that's why I put him in the likable character category, because as I've heard it said before, he was charming.
Yeah.
And he was. But he's not supposed to be. He's not supposed to be likable.
You know what though? I didn't find him that charming. Like, I don't know. His performance was very. He had maybe it's a personal pet peeve of mine. I don't like overly cocky people, even if you have the skills to back it up. There's always something to be said for humility, and there was none with this character. I mean, he even has the subtlety aspect of this movie was something that
You mean the complete and utter lack
of subtlety. He's got "I am the way, the truth," or something along those lines on his collar. It's never explained, but all I can assume is it's another cockiness thing, and he was just cocky. And you know, the impression I always had of the character was that he was more of a, like I said, a cold-blooded killer, do anything for money type.
Yeah, emotions don't really factor in for him.
He's highly emotional. This version of Deadshot was highly emotional. Had standards, like no women and children. Why?
Also, kept talking about how, you know, I'm gonna kill you anytime somebody crossed him.
Yeah.
Or what was the other one where he kept talking about how he didn't care about anybody except his little girl. It's the only person he cared about. And then
he spares Harley's life.
Well, and then he's buddy with everybody the rest of the time.
Okay. He unleashed Diablo's potential. He pushed him to get him out.
I have something to say about Diablo. First, the sparing Harley. Comic book Deadshot would have killed her. As soon as Amanda Waller offered him anything he wanted, boom, she's done. He doesn't care about anybody.
In certain versions, yes. I think they're going with the version that there's like a romantic connection between the two of them. I think they've been writing that way with the two of them, which doesn't make sense. Harley is always going to be Joker's girl. Putting her with anybody else is kind of. I mean, you can't let the character go stagnant. You got to do something different. But it just seems weird. Like, of all people, you got Joker, who is like the love of her life, and then Deadshot. They are nothing alike. Just a weird. As far as Deadshot, he still definitely was a protagonist, almost in a way that is going to make it harder for us to not like him when he has to go up against the heroes. Because that's going to come at some point. He's going to have to go up against Batman or even other members of the Justice League. That's going to happen. And we're not exactly going to know who we want to root for. Like, we have established heroes, and now we have this villain who became a hero.
Now, back to what you said about Diablo. How about how Will Smith Deadshot turns Hispanic every time he turns to Diablo? Hey, S.A., I'm just trying to get you there, S.A. Nobody else talks like that to Diablo.
Right. And he doesn't talk like that to anybody else.
No.
So we're not going with, like, he's a
No.
mixed race guy. He's, like, half black, half Mexican or something. No, it's just a black guy putting on a character to talk to somebody.
I really felt like I was watching, like, Will Smith can't help himself. He can't play a straight bad guy. He's got to make him some sort of, you know, deep down heart of gold kind of character, or maybe heart of, like, bronze. I don't know.
Something like that.
But he's got to be, he can't be just straight bad. Even Deadshot. And when he talks to anybody of any sort of ethnicity, he has to become that ethnicity. He can't.
Yeah. Well, and something else that has to be addressed, his powers are superhuman accuracy, it looks like.
You talking about the part with the rifle?
He's on the rifle range, and he's shooting, and he's just, I mean, the hole is like that big. He's not hitting anything but in here. Superhumanly accurate.
It's literally
not
possible.
It would be cool to be superhumanly accurate. If you're superhumanly accurate, you are not going to be hitting this. Because no matter how accurate you are, you can't account for the error that's going to come out of the gun. Guns don't just they don't shoot lasers. They shoot a bullet. And it's going to move different every time. Even if it's off by this much, it's going to move differently.
That was one of those nitpicky things that...
It was nitpicky, but it was like...
But it was completely indicative of what this movie did. Completely unnecessary parts.
Yeah.
That was unnecessary. He's supposed to be the guy who never misses, not the guy who puts a bullet through the same hole every time. We didn't need that.
Yeah.
It
they could have shown him being really accurate and never missing without showing us.
Yeah, I mean, just the part when he picks up each of the pistols and he's like headshot, 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 headshot. That's enough.
Yeah.
That's all we need from him. It was just dumb. There's so many dumb parts. I feel like we could do this for like 2 hours. It easily and probably leave stuff out. Like, we're just trying to hit the stuff that pops to mind.
I just wanted to talk about that for sure because I'm positive nobody mentioned that before. Well, not positive, but you know, I haven't seen it myself.
All right, let's go to a quick one before we go into the two really obvious ones. But let's Enchantress. First version Enchantress, the like voodoo priestess, I don't know what to call her, Enchantress.
She looked awesome.
She was
the transformation was cool with like the hand flipping. That was really cool.
Like that. Didn't see it coming either.
It was a great visual effect. It really kind of just like messed with your mind for a second.
I liked it.
It was cool. And then they messed her up. They turned her into Zool Bavmorda, childlike empress from Neverending Story. Like this weird amalgam of those three.
They took such a cool character and just ruined it.
The wiggling, the weird like dance summoning that she did. Why? What?
That's how you.
What?
That's
what?
how you cast. No, that's how.
That's how you cast
ancient
spells.
South American goddess metahuman things.
I wouldn't even say South American. I'd say nondescript jungle land. We never really got any clue of where they were. It's like it could have been Africa. It could have been South America. Hell, it could have been Southeast Asia. Like, we don't know. And we probably never will. All we get is...
The wiggling was really, really bad.
The CG was terrible.
How about the... Like, she was fine, right here. This was cool.
It was awful.
And then everything else was this weird, awful Ghostbusters CG.
Yeah.
Like, it was just bad. Like, it pulled me out of the movie. I mean, not to mention her machine with its whole, like, spinny...
We never, at least
fires lasers through the atmosphere.
What did that machine do?
Fired lasers. Like, I don't know how the lasers are.
Magic lasers. Magic lasers.
But they were really effective. It had that.
We have no idea why, what, how, like none of that's answered. She's just like, I'm going to create this machine and I'm going to use your power to do it, brother. Yeah.
Speaking of, he looked awful.
You know, I didn't think he looked awful. I thought he looked okay to me, but why did he
I think he looked like a CGI tragedy.
He pulled in four people in to become one guy?
One really bad
One really
guy, but maybe
big
tall or
guy
something?
who had magic powers.
What are his powers anyway?
Magic.
I mean, he's got like whip arm power and sucky people in power, and apparently he can invalidate her whole not having a heart thing. I don't really understand how that works.
The power of brotherly love.
Oh, speaking of the heart. Like, Amanda Waller has... What? Amanda Waller has Enchantress's heart.
Yeah.
And this is how she's going to control Enchantress, apparently. I don't understand, and never did, what stopped Enchantress from just taking her heart. Like, at one point, Waller is just passed out, and Enchantress is in the room, and she can just be like, yoink!
No, there were like padded, super sensitive floors or something. There was security measures in the room.
Wait, no. She's a god who can flit or teleport or whatever halfway across the world, go into a super secure area.
She can't float though. She can only teleport. She can't float. And if she teleported over there,
doesn't she float in the fight? Doesn't she float in the fight?
I'm not here.
Or did she just like just keep teleporting in the air? Because that seems a lot like floating.
I'm here to try to help that moment out. It seems like as a godlike entity, she should have been able to get in there.
What prevented her from just reaching into the container and pulling her own heart out?
What, like having dulcim arms, just like rubber?
Well, I mean, she can go through walls.
If she had used the stretchy arms, then we know where she was from. She would have been from Southeast Asia for sure then, because she would have used yoga powers. Like Dulcim in Street Fighter.
I guess they couldn't.
They didn't want to be that direct.
They didn't want to reveal that.
They wanted to keep the location they're from.
That's smart because it would have given away, an actual part of the story and added backstory. And they did not want to do that in this movie, except for like that when they introduced all the characters with that cartoony sort of thing, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, I didn't mind the graphics.
It was interesting.
One last thing about Enchantress before we move on. The voice. Oh my gosh, the voice. That voice. It's like they took Cate Blanchett and like they're like, speak gibberish, and then we're gonna run it through this tin can, and then we got out of hand there. So now
start over.
We're gonna start with Harley. What was your overall impression of Harley?
Ooh.
She wasn't your animated series Harley. Not your mom and dad's Harley.
No.
She was edgy. She
had crazy.
She had tats. And she had voices in her head.
You know what? Everybody keeps talking about how she looks like she raided a Hot Topic for her entire outfit. She doesn't just look like she raided it for the outfit. It looks like that's where she got her mentality too.
I don't think that's ever been said better than right then.
What? What's that? No, don't.
Kill everybody and leave?
Don't.
That's not what they said. That was the most basic, crazy girl thing she could have said. I couldn't when I saw the trailer, I was like, no, you guys didn't just do that, right?
I was hoping crazy they were gonna cut that out.
That was just trailer bait.
Yeah, they just wanted to be like, this will reel in the
get the stupid girls who
chicks.
who pretend to be crazy, get them in the seats with this line. You can identify with this girl. It was the worst, arguably, the worst written line in the entire movie.
I don't know. What about the scene where she breaks the glass to steal the purse? Which, that worked in the trailer. In the movie, it's just like they're walking down the street, cut, window, smash. Like, it doesn't fit the movie at all. It's like a scene that was made for the trailer that they were like, well, I mean, everybody loved it, so we got to put it in the movie now. It didn't make any sense. It didn't fit, and it was a dumb line. It was dumb. Most of her lines were stupid.
I can't make any kind of defense for that moment. That was definitely...
And that was wasted, because Margot Robbie is good.
Yeah, you know what? She could have been good in this role. I felt like she was... No, sorry. You know what? I do remember one worse line. It's when she picks up Katana's sword, and she's like, you made a mistake. You mess with my friends. She. Oh.
How did that cut out her heart anyway?
It's not important. What is important is that was a terrible line. Again,
She had a host of dumb lines.
they really wrote her... I don't know. They were trying to make her a pro tag as well. She's not a pro tag. She can be a likable character, but we don't need her talking about friendship or... what? Friends? She's insane. Literally, she's...
She didn't make sense at all. Like,
No.
at least some of the other characters, like Deadshot has super accuracy power and also unending ammo.
Yeah.
They just dropped them. I mean, literally crash landed in the middle of a city and we're like, pew, 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 pew. Thank goodness our guns are infinite ammo. I don't know. But he's got the infinite ammo super accuracy power, and Diablo's got flames, and Captain Boomerang has runaway power. Which, I mean, he hid through the whole movie, which is what you would do if you were Captain Boomerang.
And dronerangs.
That was painful. Like, I picture that in my head. Like, what is this boomerang?
This boomerang is literally spinning like... it's like 1 RPM, just like...
And then it's only up for like 4 seconds.
Yeah, it was super useful.
And you can see on his face, like, oh. It was
the
only...
one thing I can contribute to this team. Like, it was, oh man, it was...
See, I was going to wait to get into Boomerang because I feel like we should talk about him at the very end.
Yeah, we can say Boomerang. We can say Boomerang.
No, we're done with it now. That was everything. Like, that's why I was going to leave him to the end. He was completely unnecessary.
You know, he was unnecessary.
He added nothing to the story.
I still enjoyed the character overall.
I thought he was useless.
I read a thing where it said that they told him to let his inner shitbag go, and I was...
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. He was funny to me. He was good comic relief, more or less. Overall, useless to the team, but he was part of Suicide Squad, so, I mean, it's not like they just wrote him in for comic effect. Like, he was there.
I feel like he was just trying too hard, though. Like, all of them are trying too hard. Deadshot, Will Smith. I even have a hard time calling him Deadshot, because he might as well just be Will Smith with a gun. But, I mean... Yeah. He's trying super hard to tell you, like, I'm a bad guy. I don't like nobody. Like, he's trying to convince himself.
I've seen some things, man, and some stuff. Like,
what was the bit where he's like, you don't sleep like a baby every night after doing what I've done if you've got feelings. Like,
we get it. You killed folks.
Yeah,
but you have standards.
Everybody knows.
You have standards, but you're bothered by what you did. If you have standards and you don't operate outside your standards, and it's not going to bother you. Like, if it's inside your own moral code, why would it make you, like, lose sleep at night?
So, yeah. Deadshot, trying too hard. Harley Quinn, trying so just desperately to convince everybody that she's as crazy as she's been saying she is. Like, I feel like this is, like, just the... I don't know, the poor girl picked on who in high school, who this is how she deals with it, by convincing everybody she's crazy, and then she goes home and reads, like, Robert Frost and drinks cappuccino. But, wait, no, she read a book at the end with a...
And had cappuccino.
So yeah.
So really, I guess that was maybe you had the best in-depth perspective of her so far. That she is the things you're talking about. Like that deep down, she is that girl. She didn't change. She's still Harleen Quinzel.
Captain Boomerang is trying too hard to be a shitbird.
I still enjoyed him. He wasn't useful, but I enjoyed him. I enjoyed the performance. It was finally Jai Courtney doing something other than sucking. I guess it's because he finally got to play an Australian.
And because he did virtually nothing.
Nah.
He really didn't have a lot of lines except for convincing the most gullible assassin in the world to commit suicide by cop.
Oi! Why don't we escape? This is all a trick. And then like, boom. Oh shit.
Oi. Oi. Just that should be most of his lines. Oi.
Oi.
Ugh.
It was not. Okay.
And then there's Killer Croc.
Oh my gosh.
We'll just bring up Killer Croc now, get him out of the way, because he was pointless. He did
No.
virtually nothing.
He was worse than pointless. They made him... They already have Will Smith, but they made him the token black character. BET?
No, they made him the token ghetto black character.
Oh, shorty, I am beautiful. Like, well, what? What? But how can we make your life easier? Put BET in myself. What?
It's worse than Will Smith's essay whenever he talks to Diablo.
The thing was, that was a black guy. That was a black guy playing Killer Croc, and I still didn't believe that was a black guy. I was like, no, that's a white guy down the... That's like, what, not croc face? Can we come up with that term? When you're a black guy pretending to be a black guy and you can still come off as white? Croc face.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. It was...
Well, do we need to go into
What?
any of the other...
No, we
problems?
saved the best for last. The biggest problem in the movie, and one that disappoints me in how people are talking about it. The Joker.
Horrendous. Absolutely horrendous.
Yeah.
There was nothing redeemable about that character. The only good thing I've heard anybody say about the Joker character that they did in this
The only thing that we can take as a positive.
They did something different. Like, that's a positive.
Oh, he was different, all right, for sure. The one thing, okay, we have to talk about the biggest, most glaring issue with the Joker, his appearance. Sorry, I guess when I say appearance, I guess I mean, no, not appearance. It's all bad. They took the Joker and they're like, what can we do with the Joker to make him different? Take away everything that makes him interesting and turn him into a regular crazy thug. The Joker is the antithesis of Batman. He's the opposite. He is mirthful in his
planning, execution.
No, what's the word I'm looking for? He's mirthful in his disparity, I guess. Maybe that's the wrong word. I don't know. He enjoys being evil. You know what I mean? You see that. He makes
fun.
jokes. Yeah, it's a
fun.
game for him. It's his big joke. This guy was just like, once again, like, I'm crazy. What?
Leto overacted the crap out of that one.
Yeah, and like the stuff. I mean, you hear about the stuff Leto did to get into character. It was like I read that he listened to 20s era gospel. He read books on shamanism again. And there was one more thing. I don't know. Then there's him sending like pig carcasses and dead rats to his
used condoms.
Used condoms? For real?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. The one thing I'll give him is something you told me about before, that, where's his smile? Where's his disfiguring smile that every Joker has had before now?
He's not disfigured. He smiles.
To be fair to Leto, from what I read, he wanted that. He pushed for it, and Ayers said no. So
Yeah.
we could have had that if Leto had had his way. Apparently, from what I've seen, maybe that was BS. But for whatever reason, Ayers didn't want it.
Well, that stinks. I did like once I found out the story with the teeth. A lot of people had a problem with the grill. When I heard the story that David Ayers told, that basically like his teeth have been busted out from I think one particular incident with Batman, that worked for me. That was fine with me. It makes sense. He just got punched so many times, his teeth are gone, and he needs fake teeth now. So that worked for me. Now, the fact that it plays into the whole gangster thing, yeah, it's...
Him as a gangster didn't work for me.
No.
I didn't understand why Joker would want to be a gangster.
Yeah, Joker's, okay, Joker aspires, I mean, look at Heath Ledger. He aspires to be something greater than a regular gangster. He wants to be, what does he say, this city deserves a higher level of criminal or whatever. Joker in this is like, nah, I'm good being this kind of criminal. Like the suit, owning a club.
That didn't...
What?
That was the big one for me. Like the club, the Lamborghini, all that sort of stuff. Was that a Lambo or Ferrari?
I don't know, whatever. It was.
It's like money and fast cars. That's not Joker. Joker doesn't give a crap about that. He's about his pranks, his jokes, his crimes that he finds funny. That's what he's about. He doesn't operate clubs.
Well, I mean, if he operates a club, what's to keep Batman from going in there and beating the tar out of him every time?
You know what? Let's get to that in a second. The complete and total absence of heroes. We'll finish up with Joker and we'll go there because that's one of my biggest flaws with the whole movie. You know, we can nitpick the characters apart. I feel like we kind of just skipped around on the characters and we could have done way more.
Yeah.
There's so many problems.
There is so much to talk about that you're like this, and this. It's like a buffet of bad, and you want to get all of it, but you can only eat so much, or critique so much.
But Joker, with the like open shirt and the chains and the like, again, trying too hard tattoos. I mean, even the damaged across the forehead. What is that?
Like I said, this movie has no subtlety. So, in order for us to understand who Joker is, we get all these different tattoos on his body. We know who Joker is!
But apparently you just have to keep getting punched in the face.
I mean, like the smile on the back of his hand, and damaged and J, and just... We know who he is. We don't need hints all over his body about what's going on with him. Like the ha 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 ha. All written in a style from Batman comics.
I mean, it's
Is
supposed to be an
is
homage.
he Deadpool now? Is he fourth wall breaking? Like, no. This Joker saddened me.
Let's see. We'll try to just wrap it up.
Okay.
Like summarize the Joker. His costume was dumb and didn't make sense. It just looked like, what did you call it?
It looked like Miami Vice. Or
Yeah.
Scarface.
Yeah.
He looked like Scarface.
Scarface Joker. The tattoos were stupid. His general appearance was dumb. The only good thing that anybody can say is that it was different. Different does not equal good. Those are not the same thing.
His obsession with Harley Quinn was a problem. She is obsessed with him. He uses her. That is the classic nature of the relationship. And in this, he is... I think we disagree here, but I think it almost seemed like he was devoted to her.
I just thought obsessed. He's just completely obsessed with her. He doesn't really care about her, but he doesn't want anybody else to have anything to do with her. Which, I mean, whichever interpretation between him or me you want to take, that's not comic book Joker.
Yeah, I mean, once, that's a good thing about comics is everybody has their own take, but, battery.
Yeah, that's fine.
everybody's got their own take on the character, and that's fine. But the overall take is always Joker doesn't care. He cares about Joker. He doesn't even honestly he doesn't even care that much about Joker. He's just an agent of chaos, more or less. So yeah, I don't, do you have anything else about Joker?
No, let's just go to the last thing, which is the biggest flaw in the whole movie. Where is everybody? I mean, they show us in the movie, Batman's around. Flash is the one who catches Boomerang in the first place, so Flash is around. So I get that Superman's dead. They hammered us over the head with that one. Yeah, I get it. Superman's dead. Blah blah blah. You're just gonna bring him back in a movie or two. What was the point of doing that?
We have at least 3 heroes who are active. Who
Wonder
could
Woman
have.
is in this universe somewhere.
At first I thought Batman was too busy looking for the other heroes to be able to do this right now. But we see in the end that first of all, he's getting dossiers about people he's already researched. What was that about? I don't understand why he needed dossier in the
This is
ending
backwards.
scene.
No, it can't be backwards in the timeline because Superman's dead. So this is forward.
Yeah, no, this is and everything that him getting the dossiers from Amanda Waller happened after all these events.
I feel like this was probably just a reshoot to try and tie everything together.
Yeah, Batman should have been there. Flash should have been there. Wonder Woman should have been there. All those heroes should have been trying to stop this.
Enchantress is trying to destroy the world. What could possibly be more important than that?
And I know some people might make the argument that they don't live in those cities; they were too far away. Joker got to Midway City. He's a Gothamite. Why did that happen?
Joker can travel the whole U.S., but Wonder Woman that somehow has the ability to travel between her world and this one can't. Even for the end of the world, can't do it.
Can't be bothered. I guess we don't have the invisible jet in this universe.
I mean, she can go to Metropolis. But that's probably, I guess, too far.
Well, Metropolis, that's just across the bay.
Oh, that's right. So close. That was stupid too. But yeah, the end of the world is coming, and no one does anything to stop it. Not a single meta-human hero shows up. Nobody even tries. And so we're relying on the Suicide Squad to basically get lucky. Well, and that's what our hope is. The military's already failed.
And like I said, to clean up their own mess. This was the mess they created.
If Waller didn't try to use Enchantress in the first place, there is no movie.
Yeah, there's no reason for Suicide Squad if Amanda Waller doesn't push to create the Suicide Squad. It was like this self-encapsulating issue. Just strange. Just
let's call the movie what it was. It was a vehicle to introduce Harley Quinn and Joker, and I guess Deadshot.
Yeah.
Because he was way too prominent in the movie. So I guess it's just to give us those 3 characters so they can move forward. They really didn't give a crap about any of the other characters, and they killed the only character that I really liked, Diablo. Although I'm sure they'll find some stupid way to bring him back, some Aztec god
ritual
power or something. They'll bring him back.
I'm
He
okay
was
with
too
that,
good.
honestly.
Yeah, they can bring him back and they can kill off everybody else.
They can kill off Killer Croc. That'd be fine with me.
That it didn't matter. It was just a vehicle movie with a lot of stuff shoehorned in and a crap load of advertisements.
Big plot holes.
I don't understand any of the good reviews for this movie. I mean, other than the action was entertaining.
Yeah, that it does keep you do keep watching.
But the plot was nonsensical. The writing was terrible. The dialogue was just dumb. It felt like it was written by a bunch of high schoolers, and not the advanced classes high schoolers either.
And all of them were white, trying to portray other ethnicities that they didn't understand.
I'm pretty sure this is what black people are like.
Black people love BET.
Doesn't when you talk to a Hispanic guy, don't you have to say essay if he's a gangster?
It's a sign of respect.
I'm pretty sure that's a rule. It was dumb. And people need to stop acting like this was a really good movie just because you're desperate for the DCEU to continue and be good. Stop it. Stop it. Call them like it really is.
Make them responsible for making a good movie.
They're gonna keep cranking out crap.
They've
They're
already-
making a ton of money.
They're still making money, but they need to make them better. And if they make them better, they're going to make more money. I feel like, I don't know, maybe they don't care.
And we
But
can have a universe that actually will stand the test of time, instead of just
cohesion.
Yeah, they don't tie anything together very well, but whatever.
No.
That's a different topic.
This is not
altogether.
tied very well.
Yeah, call them on their crap. Stop letting them make junk and selling it to us like a great thing, marketing it to us for what, a year?
Yeah.
Just to give us a lot of bad dialogue and reshoots.
Yeah.
This was not good.
Well, we basically we've still got Justice League, as far as I'm concerned, is probably already done. So that movie's done. They're going to put it out. They're not going to shelve that one. But we can still try to make them responsible for making the next movies in the series tie together. We need them to slow down and just focus on making a good movie.
And stop trying to compete with Marvel. You are separate universes. People will watch both movies. You're not competing.
Marvel's doing great, but Marvel can't make a Batman movie. Marvel can't make a Superman movie. They can't do that.
You have the market.
You are the only ones who can do this. So do it right.
Yeah. And knock it off. Like, seriously. Well, I think that's where we're done. So,
Stay cynical.